Welcome to The Explainer. Okay, let's dive right in. Today we are tackling a huge value proposition in the world of golf. The super budget-friendly Kirkland gear from Costco going head-to-head with the tour-proven premium equipment from Titleist.
And when we say huge, we are not kidding. You're looking at a price difference of nearly £500 for just a driver and a dozen balls. So the question is pretty simple, right? What are you actually giving up to save all that cash? Is it performance, feel, or is it just the fancy brand name? Let's find out.
All right, so let's get right to it. Does going with the budget option mean you're automatically compromising on what you can see and feel?
Well, the answer is, surprisingly, no, not at all. The Kirkland Driver comes absolutely packed with high-end components that honestly kind of challenge your expectations. We're talking a premium head cover, a carbon crown, a brand-name Project X shaft, a lambkin grip. I mean, this is the kind of stuff you'd normally only see on clubs costing 3 or 4 times this much.
And you know what? It gets even better. When you put them both down behind the ball, they look remarkably alike. They both have that classic, confidence-inspiring shape. What's kind of funny is the Kirkland actually shows off its cool carbon weave on the crown, while Titleist chose to hide that same tech under a plain black finish. So just on looks alone, Kirkland is punching way, way above its weight.
Okay, so it looks the part, but the real test is performance, right? So we put the full Titleist combo, that's the GT2 Driver and a Pro V1, against the full Kirkland combo. And just to keep things totally fair, both drivers were set to the exact same 9 degrees of loft. Now, based on the price tag alone, you'd probably bet everything on the Titleist setup being the clear winner. But the launch monitor, it told a very different and much more interesting story.
The results were pretty shocking right out of the gate. The Kirkland Driver was actually producing almost a full mile-an-hour more ball speed. Now that is fascinating, a faster club for a fraction of the price. But hold on. Take a closer look at that data, because the story definitely does not end there.
And here it is. This is the crucial number that just changes everything. The Kirkland combination was generating a massive amount of backspin. We're talking nearly 4,000 revolutions per minute. For a player with any kind of speed, that is just almost unplayably high.
And all that extra spin? It completely sabotaged the ball flight. It just caused the ball to balloon way up in the air and then basically fall out of the sky with almost no roll. The result? It was a full 32 yards shorter in total distance, even with the faster ball speed. That's a huge, huge difference.
So, this completely unexpected result led us to a brand new question. What was the real culprit here? What was causing all that spin? Was it the driver? Was it the ball? Or was it some weird reaction from putting the two of them together? We had to find out.
So we started mixing the components, and this is where things got even more interesting. The results were just eye-opening. 3 of the 4 combinations performed almost identically. They all had fantastic ball speed, optimal spin right around 2,500 RPM, and carried it about 300 yards. And get this, the longest combination of the entire test was the Titleist Driver paired with the cheap Kirkland ball.
This made it crystal clear. The Kirkland Driver is a legitimate, high-performing club, and the Kirkland ball is a seriously long-distance ball. The problem wasn't the individual parts. It was how they worked, or in this case, how they didn't work together.
Okay, so off the tee, the lines are incredibly blurry. You can absolutely get premium performance on a budget. But the premium ball companies always say their real value, their secret sauce, is around the greens. So we set up a 75-yard wedge shot to see if we could find the tiebreaker.
And yep, this chart basically tells the whole story. The data is unmistakable. The Kirkland ball launched way higher, by about 4.5 degrees, and it spun significantly less than the Titleist Pro V1, by more than 700 RPM.
Now, for better players, that high launch, low spin profile you get from the Kirkland ball is the exact opposite of what you want for controlling your shots into the green. You're looking for that lower, piercing flight with a ton of spin to stop the ball quickly. The Pro V1 delivered that tour-level performance, and this is really where its premium price tag starts to make sense.
So after all that testing, what's the final verdict? Well, it's not as simple as just pointing to one and saying it's the winner. The real answer, as it so often is, depends on you.
The big takeaway here is that value really depends on your priorities. You could save an absolute fortune by buying the Kirkland driver and pairing it with a Pro V1, and you would lose almost zero performance off the tee. Or you could save money on balls by pairing the Titleist driver with the Kirkland ball and actually end up with the longest combo of the day.
So really, it all comes down to a choice. Are you trying to optimize your budget to get the most value on your drives, where the Kirkland ball is an amazing performer for the money? Or are you willing to pay that premium for the precision and the stopping power that the Pro V1 gives you in your short game?
That right there, that is the real 500-pound question. And now, hopefully, you have the data to help answer it for yourself. Thanks for joining us on The Explainer.